Okay, I think we are live. It appears so. It appears that's the way. Now, what has changed in regards to creative now? How does one tag themselves in the community? I'm not actually sure. I should have probably looked into this, shouldn't I? So if I edit this, streaming creative, can I do creative game? No. Okay. Well, anyway, welcome everyone. Welcome back. It's been a little while. It has been quite some time since the last stream. I haven't got the exact stat as to how long ago that actually was, but it was probably close to 4 weeks ago now. But we're back. That's the most important thing, right? So we're going to be looking today at just fixing up some of the to-do list, and maybe just making a couple of changes to things. I've not looked back too much through the code, but I'm fairly sure that I remember most of the things, really. So we're going to sort of try and get this to-do list, which I made the evening of the last stream, which was, as I say, about 4 weeks ago now. We're going to look to make this a bit more in line with what we're aiming for today and for the rest of the upcoming weeks. Okay, so we have this thing to do here, which we'll probably do at some point today, actually. So I should probably make today a thing. Put this down here. Okay. We'll probably look to do a couple of these feedback notes as well. So we will change this over to, say, Sunday. Yeah, I think we could do this today. We could probably do this as well. We could do this. This isn't too bad. We might even be able to do all of these little feedback notes here. So that could be a thing. Get the enter button to submit the form. Yeah, this should be quite easy. Yeah, so there's quite a few different things that we can do there today. And then I think tomorrow we will do some of these things, which are a little bit different. And then we've kind of got a few... No, yeah, this would be Monday. This would be Tuesday. Wednesday. Now the other thing is that I'm off this week, which is pretty awesome. I'm off for pretty much the whole week. So I could work on something just all week and make these smaller tasks that we could do as well. Like, I'm wondering whether or not the spectate feature would actually be a good thing to work on in the upcoming week. It could be something which I could consider. But for now I should probably just change this to Thursday and Friday. So show the cards which are currently playable in an ordered fashion. Okay. For now this should be okay. Now we have here a thing that I wanted to, a list of all the stuff I wanted to have completed by the end of this month. Not all of this is going to be done. I think we could do all of this apart from the spectate feature here. So I think that could actually genuinely happen. I think the spectate feature was the thing I expected to take most of the month. I'm really not sure whether or not I'll implement it quite so soon. But yeah, it's there. And then we're sort of at the point of looking at more things that we can do for the alpha release. Okay, so I also need to change later on. I think I've got it written down here somewhere. I think it's up here. I have to change what I say about Mondays and Tuesdays. Monday? Here. Because I am now doing have started my degree study. So this is something which will be changing in the future. Like I'll hopefully be streaming a little bit longer on Mondays and Tuesdays, which also in turn means I'll be streaming a little bit more on Fridays as well. Sorry, on Saturdays. I'll get the day right in the end. On Sundays as well. Okay. So we're just kind of at a point where I just need to get back into things now, I think. So actually, the thing where I thought this was all going to be about my to-do list is wrong. I think we should actually just probably get on with some stuff. So we could probably just start looking at something like this. So we just need to add an instruction for when we are targeting with a board entry effect. So this should be... I'm glad that wasn't my actual database link. That could have been bad. That would be in game mechanics, right? So it was board entry. Yeah, handle minion board entry. So when we call handle minion board entry, I guess what we could do is emit a message to at least the current user, and if the other person's waiting, we probably don't really need to. So what we can do is there currently client socket handler. So is there like a status update function? Update voids, update WFO text. Is this actually what my WFO text is now? It is, isn't it? Yeah. So we can call update WFO text, or oh no, socket.on WFO function additional information. Okay. So what we can do is here we can say user.socket.emit WFO, and we'll send through the parameter. So the additional information here is equal to whatever. So what we'll do here is say else if additional info is equal to choose a target board entry targeting, and this then can say text equals declare a target for your minions Is that not how I escape that? I suppose I could just use double. Declare a target for your minion's board entry effect. I should probably capitalize the B and the E here. Okay, and the phase here is equal to dual phase, I imagine. Doesn't matter too much. So we need to pass this through. So this is our parameter. So user.socket.emit WFO board entry targeting. Now when they have done that, I think we should be okay. So let's give this a little test then. So no, I've actually forgotten what I need to run here. Wow, it's been a while, hasn't it? Is it game.js? No, main.js. Node main.js. No, it's just electron dot. Damn. Whew. I'm glad I got there. Alrighty. So we just need to do so I want to look for anything with a board entry effect right now. One board entry, it's a 5 drop. We have better 1 drops with board entry effects. So, here we, no, that isn't it. It has to be a entry effect that does damage to something. Heal your sorcerer. Here we go. Oh, finally. Select an action to take against the minion which you are dueling. It hasn't updated it. Aha. So... Oh, yeah. I think I know why this is, actually. This isn't where I want to actually do this. It's if I have to select a target for something. So I need to try and think of how to do this, how I done this. Target. User.socket.emit, choose effect damage target. No, I don't think that is it. Target selected. So, targeting. Here we go. So user.ready equals targeting. And what we want to do here is this. So if the opponent isn't facing anything, we update their waiting for opponent. But what we need to do is we need to update this user socket, this user's waiting for opponent. So we do board entry targeting like that. I think that's actually the only place where we need to do that. So if we restart both of these, we should be good to go. Although I don't know because I didn't concede that last game. Oh no, that seemed to work. Okay. Okay, let's get going again. None of these are the ones that we want. I forget which class it is actually now that had all the board entry effects. I think it was the Druid class, wasn't it? Here we go. We got one though. So we attack dual opponent here. Yeah, this isn't getting updated. Is this something to do with the client side here? No. It's not. Okay. So, why is this not getting hit? I wonder if I'm doing something wrong. So when we set the user.ready to targeting, and we do this user.socket.emit board entry targeting, do I just need to slip this up a bit? Okay. So, well, let's give this another go. Oh, I'm an idiot. I didn't restart the server. This is what happens when you take 4 weeks off of coding. You forget everything. Alright, we got one of the 2 drops there. Declare a target for your minion's board entry effect, so we do that. And then we go back to waiting for opponent. Awesome. So that is actually done. Thank God we've actually got something working at last. So I just realised my OBS, I should probably do this up here and this over here, and then change what we're currently working on according to it. So we are working on bugs. Okay. So we've added in that now, which was on our to-do list. So we should probably tick that off. Okay. So I'll move this back up here just purely because this is where it was. And it's probably the best place to put it, actually. So find a better way to display the user's sorcerer information. Right, I think I have a place I could get a couple of little images from. Because it's basically I mean, it's basically just the fact that we currently don't have a way of knowing what the small icons stand for by the sorcerer, which is obviously not ideal. I don't know exactly how we would do this though. So what I'm meaning is these things over here. So we've got the weapon, the attack of the user, and their gold, because they just look appalling right now pretty much. So how could I represent these a little bit nicer? I mean, temporarily what I could do is just make them big enough to contain the text, which is quite an easy fix, I suppose. That might just be the best way of doing it. I think I'll just do that for now. So we can remove this. So I have temporarily made it so that we just have the divs at the correct height for them to correct width for them to display the information. In the end, yeah, eventually we will have a graphic for this. So we just need to increase the size of those. So that's literally in just main.css here. And if I can find what these things are called, it would be great. Well, it doesn't matter which one I do, whether it's op or our own, really. Yeah, these info containers. If I just change the width of these to, let's say, 50 pixels even. Now obviously these would therefore need a little bit of a play around with exactly their positioning, but just having this will be so much easier than doing anything else, I think. So the info containers are just going to get a bump up in their width, and then we just need to figure these positionings out, pretty much. So, find info container, width of 50 pixels. So, right. Well, we can get rid of own armor and op armor for now, since we don't actually have armor in the game. And then the op attack and our own attack should be... So if this was +5, we've added 30 pixels to it. We should therefore make this -25 pixels, I think. And the same here. How's everyone doing anyway? It's been a while. I've missed everyone. I've missed streaming. It's felt bad. Every day I was just like, I just want to be able to stream properly and just do things and stuffs. So yeah, I'm glad to be back. I wasn't sure whether or not I'd be too happy with like continuing the game, considering I had such a lull, but I think I'll get there. I think I'll get back into the game fully again. That looks a lot better already, and the text is already centered, so I think that's the quick fix for now until we actually have a better sort of visual for it. So we'll consider this done. That was actually a really quick fix. We'll just push this up there. So remove passwords from the current login since they are not being securely handled at the moment. Now, yeah, this is tricky. Because if I don't have passwords, people can just access any account. But I suppose for now we don't actually care. Like, there's no results or anything. However, I could just make it so that we are doing something with these passwords. I suppose I'll do that for like things to do tonight. So this can be moved down here tonight. So we've got things to do tonight, which here we should be saying figure out a way of handling user passwords, since currently we have we don't store them properly. I'll just leave it at that, and we'll do that later. So the result overlay is currently showing over the board if the current user, if the user wins naturally. We should probably remove the board when we call it into it here. Yeah. So this should be relatively simple. So when the game ends, client socket handler. So result, is it? Ends. So I guess what we just do is we just empty everything. Oh, actually we do. So that means we end the games a different way as well here, don't we? Huh. I should put this up here, just to note. So this only happens if the user doesn't... How do we handle the user dying then? I think it's game mex. Find .hp equals 0. Oh, it'd be less than or equal to 0. So here we just do a socket.emit game end. Game end. That's odd, because that means that everything should therefore be removed. And if the main container gets removed, that's pretty much everything. In fact, that is everything. So how come sometimes the board's not getting removed? Oh, I see. That would happen then. What it would be is we would be calling this after we've basically said to show. We've called this before we've said to show something else. So here how could we do this then? I suppose when we update the board, we could check whether or not the there exists a endgame container. That might be the better way of doing it, right? So when we do this show board, we will say if document.get element by ID was it game end container or end game container? End game container. End game container. So if this thing exists, return. Else, do all of this stuff. So therefore, what should happen now is if we win naturally, we should be okay to just get going and not have the board behind us judging our every move. Okie dokie. Oh, this gold 0 has gone over. Okay. So there is still a bug there. We might just have to increase that number a little bit. So we'll just change this to 30 then. And then we need to look info container here should just be 55 pixels maybe. And that should fix everything anyway. Okay. Okay. I should probably just be trying to get one person to win this game. That would probably be quicker than just putting everyone to face everything and anything. There we go. A natural win now gets rid of the board as well, which is, I believe, what we weren't doing previously. Sweet. Okay. So that's now done. Oh. Okay. Do this. So get the enter button to submit the form when logging in, since this is currently possible. Okay. So we need to basically set the enter button to submit the form while we're in that update screen. So in the menus, we basically just need to do here, listen for if we're in the main, whilst we're in the main menus, if we hit the enter button, that submits it. Oh sorry, no, not the main menu, the login. Is that separate from this? I think it is. I think it's in startup. Yep. Okay. So what we need to do is listen for the on click of the enter button. So okay, so what's the best way of doing this? I've used on key down somewhere, or on key something. Here. Game.js, line 1. So startup. So we need to key code info, enter. So if it's 13, then what we want to do is say if login container is a thing, then submit the form, which is currently being done. So we need to do verify form, and this needs to either be, well, this is here, this will be login, and this here we should also basically copy this. So else if document.element login container, so this is, oh, these are both called login container. That's not useful. That's really not useful. God damn it. So we'll just call this the sign up container then. And in CSS, so login container, we're just going to call this, we're also going to add sign up, hash sign up container. And over here, what we then need to do is just basically put all of these into the sign up container. Done. Okay. So if we are looking at the sign up container, then we're going to verify the form for create accounts. So let's give this a go and have a see whether this works or not. So reboot the server, load up the clients, and let's have a see. So if I now do just an enter, nothing happens. Nothing happens. Interesting. Okay. Why does that not pick up anything? It has access to the document. Oh, okay. This here. So I guess what we could or should do here then is just say if document.get element by ID login container or document .get element by ID sign up container, then we do this. Okay, and this should have fixed that. I can't remember whether this is server. I think this is client side anyway, but we'll just restart the server. It still doesn't work. Okay. Well, here then, let's just go console.log test and give this a go. No, this is never doing anything. Why isn't this doing anything? Oh, I don't think I did this. Oh, I left this in here even. Yeah. This should, I believe, go here. I don't think that will fix the issue, but that is an issue that it wasn't being done before. So it works normally, but this enter form is not working. Still nothing. Interesting. Oh. So this then, this should probably be a while. No? Huh. What am I doing here? So my on-key down effects are just not triggering right now. Why do I not just do this? Would this not just work? I mean, I might need to style it, but I don't think I would. So the enter button still doesn't work though. So console.log outside your while. I did try that previously, and it wasn't working. Welcome, by the way, it feels bleak, man. Nothing shows up. I wonder if it's just something to do with the fact that I can't call this from this JavaScript file. I mean, it is in the source. Although, shouldn't these be after... Well, be at the bottom of the body. What happens if I put this inside the load login function here? Let's have a look. Interesting, I broke the window. It's kind of funny, actually. So, if we boot up Electron again here. Okay, so it just dies after we do use this. So I guess then what we do is we say this if here, right? Because then we've just constantly got this while loop going, otherwise. I'll get there in the end. Hey, it seems to work. So if I just press enter, complete all fields, if we do TT, okay, I think we're working then. Strangely enough. Now, does it work here? Please complete all fields. Yeah. Awesome. So the enter button now works. That was a quick fix. Well, after the initial issue, it was a quick fix. So we'll take that off the to-do, and then remove 3 users from the queue if they close the tab or window. There may also be some other way which we should be handling this differently, but I'm not sure how this repros. Yeah, so if someone closes the window, so this is in the server socket handler. No, it's not. It's in server.js. So if someone disconnects, what we need to do is check whether or not they were in the queue. I guess we could also actually call this in the logout function here. So in sockethandler.logout, so find logout. So logout is a function here. We did actually say that we want to remove them as well here though. So if queueArray.includes socket, what are we adding to the queueArray? Are we actually adding sockets? Because I feel like we're not. Oh no, we are. It's right here. Because I remember somebody said that they managed to start playing against themselves. So if queueArray.includes socket when they log out, so what currently happens then, if I pull this over here, what happens if I log in as test, and then I refresh and go test, test. Oh yeah, I need to go into the queue though. And then I refresh here and go test, test. Okay, so that actually removed me from the queue. But there seems to be some form of circumstance where users could line up against themselves. I've possibly think that that could be where they've opened a new window and closed this one after they've logged in or something. Because, yeah, that makes sense. So if I log in here, it's the same user. So we're logged in. Let's just go into the queue here, and then let's just log in as test, test again. Now this says there's 0 users in queue. Now can I match up against myself? Yes. And that's not good. So I guess what we need to do is on connection. So I guess it's when we log in, right? So when we sign in, yeah, when we do this sign in request, so sign in request over here, so sign in request, what we also want to do then is say here that the queue array dot splice, hang on, no, what we need to do is say if queue array dot includes this user, so this socket, then we want to do queue array.splice, and we need to get the position of this socket. So queue array.index of socket. And what this will do is therefore kick this person out of the queue and then put them back in when they need to be in there. So this should prevent what we've just seen happening from happening. I don't think that actually made sense there. Okay, so let's go over to localhost 3000. Whoops. Test this. Go into queue. Go on to localhost 3000 over here. Test, test. Then go and try and find a game. It still puts us in a game against ourselves. So that suggests then because we know that logging out removes the user from the queue. So this here, technically, should remove the user from the queue. Well, what if then I do this first? I guess what we can do here then is just do a quick console.log. Yes. And we'll just do a quick restart of the server. And I've closed localhost 3000 again in Chrome. So it's definitely not booting them off the server, and we're not actually getting this log, which is kind of good that we're not getting the log, but kind of not, because, well, yeah. It goes to show that this isn't working. So I guess what we'll do as an else is console.log queue array. And then we go over here and did that output anything? It did. Good. Socket. So yeah, we are definitely in that array, which is kind of strange. Because therefore it shouldn't be well, if they're logged in, right? What if we log them out? As they log in, double check whether they are logged in and log them out. But then this is saying here then that the queue array does not include this socket. So as well as this then, let's do a... Ah. Okay, now there is an issue in that I think these are two different things. Decoding out other programming languages? Not really. Not as proficiently. Not as proficiently. Welcome, by the way, Titanium. Hope you're doing well today. So, let's have another go here. Never. So, we'll log in. We probably need to select the same class, but that still didn't work. Okay. Yeah, interesting. So where do I call queue array? How often do I call it? I feel like we should just have the username rather than the socket. No, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. So I guess what we need to do is log out when we log in, basically. But our logout function pretty much does this. Thanks, Amberola. Welcome, everyone. Yes, it's good to be back. It's good to be back. So what we're basically saying here then is... Well, what is the best way we could work this? I'm sure there's a better way than what we're currently doing, basically. So when we log in, we're not checking the... Well, if the user's in the queue. Because if this person's already logged in somewhere, what if we check the database here? Here's an idea. Okay, I've got an idea. So if we say here, so what we want to do here is say if results.length is that, or so I also want to pass through here the online. Now results 0 dot online. Is it online? Have I been happy with MongoDB? I prefer how MySQL worked personally, but I don't think it's too bad particularly. I think I just need to get used to it properly and then I should be okay. So actually I could just work this out over here because I hate how this thing works. No, not sign up, log in. Boop. So if I do this over here, accounts online, yeah. So if I say if this dot online is equal to true, then we just sign in failed, because we don't want the user to be able to log in on more than one device at the same time. I guess I could create a second, like a separate emission for this, but I think this is probably better. This is okay for now. So now if I refresh both of these, log in, and then over here if I try and log in as test, I need to restart the server first. Okay. And that will be because that user was considered to be online when we restarted the server. That's kind of awkward actually, isn't it? And I guess if the user times out, then we never actually log them out properly. I think we just need to come up with a better case scenario for this. So when we do this to-do list, so to repro this, you need to have a user in the queue, open up a new tab, log in as the same user, and you will then have to have the potential to play against yourself. This will also cause issues because we don't want more than one user. We don't want a user in the queue more than once, since this would potentially cause deck issues. The best way I can immediately think of to fix this is checking if the user is online in the database. However, there are too many cases where this online attribute of a user in the database is left hanging at online. I will need to sort this out somehow. Nerd! It's been a while since I've heard that. Thank you, Phoebe1, for the follow. Much appreciated. Thank you and welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. Alright, so we'll move this here for now as as something I need to do later. So if I just write here later, because I'm not particularly sure how we do this at the moment. It's just really something that I need to re-look at and look into again, and try and figure out a better way of doing things. But I'm actually going to end the stream. It's been a short one today, like an hour and a quarter I think now. But I just wanted to get back into the things. Tomorrow we're going to be doing some friends list stuff. So this could actually, because this is quite database oriented, this could actually be something we can look at tomorrow. This bug that we looked at today. So yeah, I'm going to end the stream. And I need to... Right, yeah, I'm going to end the stream, but I'll be back tomorrow, probably. And as I've said, I've got the whole of this coming week off. I do need to do some university work as well, though, in the meantime, as well. But this should mean that we've got a pretty decent amount of streams this week. I think I just about managed to get there. It's been a while since I've streamed and I am quite tired today. But yeah, thank you all very much for watching. It's great to be back as ever. And Sorcerers development will be continuing tomorrow on day 26. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. If you haven't already, don't forget to hit that follow button. And pledge your soul to the Soul Sorcerers army. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.